सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. In the last class, we saw 3 forms of bhakti. And why is bhakti suddenly important? Because in this portion, after talking about the Swarupa, the Lord says that the way to reach me is through bhakti. Here we have to be careful. Bhakti does not produce knowledge. Bhakti does not lead directly to Atmajnanam. Atmajnanam alone leads to Atmajnanam. And so what is the role of bhakti? Purifying. It has a purifying role whereby the person's ragadveshas are taken care of. Ragadveshas are taken care of, and which is called mala. Okay? So mala is taken care of, and then vikshepa. Another problem is vikshepa. Vikshepa means distractions. Vikshepa also means various projections that are not their subjectivity. So the vikshepa is taken care of by upasana, and the mala is taken care of by the ragadvesha is taken care of by karma yoga, and vikshepa is taken care of by bhakti also, you can say. And so this way there are upayas. Avarna is also there. That's another problem. Mala, vikshepa and avarna. Avarna means ajnana. So mala and vikshepa are after all products of ajnanam. We can't say that they are not connected. They are all part of things. So now bhakti is presented as a means for preparing to receive this knowledge. How to prepare the heart to invite the Lord inside, meaning the knowledge of the Lord being non-separate from the Lord is invited inside, and how to do that is through bhakti alone. And we saw that there are hints of 3 kinds of bhakti that are being discussed. First is what? Ekarupa bhakti, where this is nothing but Ishta Devata. So for a small child, like Mirabai's mother gave her a Krishna and said, because she was a princess, she was in the balcony looking at a marriage procession, and of course she saw the groom riding the horse. Where is my groom? Where is my groom? And the mother gave a Krishna figurine, and this is your groom, this is your husband. And she took that very seriously and worked with that murti. Ekarupa bhakti, no other thing existed. Later on, of course, she evolved into seeing Krishna everywhere. And so this Ekarupa bhakti is the kind that we see in when one takes on an Ishta Devata. This is seen as a very necessary step, but a baby step. It's a gross form of bhakti, because out of all the forms, I only choose to be devoted to one particular form. Why? Because the knowledge that every form is Brahman is not available to me at all. And it's not available because that's all I know. I can barely trust and barely relate to one form, and so that form becomes the chosen form, and then that to that chosen form I direct the bhakti, and then that form becomes something like a place for the cultivation of bhakti towards the Lord. This is like kg bhakti, nothing wrong, because everybody has to go through these steps. This is what is said in this chapter. This is the purport of this chapter. Then as the person studies Vedanta, some exposure to Vedanta is needed, then the same bhakti converts into Anekarupa bhakti. Ekarupa bhakti, Anekarupa bhakti, meaning one is no longer opposed to seeing Bhagavan through many forms and many names. And that is a very important development in one's bhakti. So, Ekarupa Bhakti, the one who sticks on to that, nothing wrong, but that person is not an adhikari for Vedanta. Nothing wrong with that bhakti. That person may be a great bhakta, but not an adhikari for Vedanta. Here we are all talking of from the standpoint of knowledge. So here the gradation of bhakti, it's not that Ekarupa Bhakti is bad and it's being criticized. It's only being critically considered from the standpoint of Atmajnanam. From the standpoint of Atmajnanam, if bhakti is, first of all, what did we say? Bhakti is a preparation for Atmajnanam, point number one. Point number two, there are three kinds of bhaktis. And point number three, the Ekarupa Bhakti, the three kinds of bhaktis are there. Let's look at point two, Ekarupa, Anekarupa and Arupa. No rupa at all, formless. So then, out of these three forms, so-called forms of bhakti, the Ekarupa Bhakti is considered the grossest. Why? Because grossest means not terrible, it's not a pejorative understanding, but it's not even that the Shastra is passing a judgment that you have lowly bhakti. No. It is from the standpoint of what kind of bhakti is a means for Atmajnanam. So, this bhakti, Ekarupa Bhakti, is at the lowest level from that standpoint. Which bhakti is going to prepare you for Atmajnanam? That one is going to take a long time to prepare you for Atmajnanam compared to the other two. Now, Arupa Bhakti on the other side of the continuum is for Uttama Adhikaris. Ekarupa Bhakti is for Manda Adhikaris. And then Uttama Adhikaris again, this Arupa Bhakti, very difficult to comprehend and even more difficult to practice. Why? Because bhakti by definition is two. There is a bhakta and there is the object of bhakti. Is it not? So then if you just put Arupa in front and make it Arupa Bhakti, how can it become one? Ananya Bhakti, Arupa Bhakti, it is nice to say, but to get to the place of seeing myself and Ishvara, who is the object of bhakti, the subject and object are one, not by going into samadhi, by being alive to the realities, this reality, that reality, everything, being able to appreciate the Lord both as the cause of the universe and as formless Brahman, Satchidanandam Brahma, and seeing myself as formless Brahman from the standpoint of being a devotee as far as the manifest body, mind, sense complex is concerned. Oh my God, that was such a long sentence. I didn't think I would finish it. I didn't even know where it was going. Anyhow, don't ask me to repeat it. Glad it is on video. Okay? So how to do this? It's like, what's that? Having one foot in one place and another foot in another place. One foot in Paramarthika firmly and the other foot in Vyavaharika. This is what is Atmajnanam. I am not, the Vyavaharika Satta, the transactional, the empirical reality does not befuddle me, does not bamboozle me, does not create disturbance, does not create fear, does not create anything. Why? Because I am living elsewhere. Living in the Paramarthika, I have one toe in Vyavaharika and I am able to straddle both these realities effortlessly. This is the Jnani's lot. This is the Jnani's ability, special ability. Nobody else has that. And so that is Arupa Bhakti. That is again for a small amount of adhikaris, and Manda adhikaris are also not there except in the pages of the Upanishad. So Lord Krishna mostly is talking about what? The middle kind of bhakti. What is that? Anekarupa Bhakti. Because that's what is more important. Because that is where the Madhyama adhikaris, who are neither stuck on one Rupa Bhakti, but at the same time they are not there, where they are able to appreciate Bhagavan both as formed and formless, and appreciate oneself as a devotee and as also the object of devotion simultaneously. It's a very tall order. Easy to say but hard to cultivate, hard to accomplish unless one is a jnani. So then what kind of bhakti should I cultivate? Aneka Rupa Bhakti. It's a confusing compound. One would think Aneka Rupa Bhakti means a bhakti of many forms. No. Aneka Rupa Bhakti means a bhakti that is directed to seeing many forms as Ishvara. That is what is that. And so therefore, like a fine example of Aneka Rupa Bhakti is Sri Rudram. Everything is Bhagavan. You see everything, even the most commonplace things are Bhagavan. Nama irinyaya cha prapathyaya cha kigum shilaya cha kshayanaya cha kapardine cha pulastaye cha lopyaya cha ulapyaya cha parnyaya cha elsewhere parnashadyaya cha. I am the leaves, and then Bhagavan is the leaf, Bhagavan is the shed leaves, and then all these things, everything is Bhagavan. So this is the Rudram is a fine example of cultivating Aneka Rupa Bhakti, which is very, very close to Jnani Bhakti. That is where we have to go. And so there is nothing wrong in the Bhakti going through stages. Being able to appreciate one form as Bhagavan requires a lot of maturity, and being able to appreciate every form as Bhagavan requires even more maturity. And finally, the culmination of all this bhakti is being able to see that bhakti is directed towards what? That which is formless. And since it cannot be directed towards the formless, that bhakti is in the form of jnanam. The bhakti has morphed into Atma Jnanam. You can't really call it bhakti at that. It's just bhakti for the sake of talking about it, that's all. And so we stopped at the 15th verse talking about this. Jnana yajnena chapyanye yajanto mamupasate. Jnana yajnena chapyanye yajanto mamupasate. Ekatvena prithaktvena ekattvena prithaktvena bahudha vishvato mukham. This is the verse. So then jnana yajnena cha api anye. Anye means others. Who are these others? Jnana yajnena. These are jnanis. And their worship is jnana yajna. So they worship me, Lord says, through pursuit of knowledge. They may not be going to elaborate temples, and they may not be doing elaborate pujas like the kind we had a few days ago, with all the 1001 shells. So in our ashram, some very elaborate puja was organized, and then they had 1008 shells, conch shells, and water was poured in each and every one of them carefully, decorated with flowers, and mantrified, and then mantrified, and then re-mantrified, re-mantrified. So much mantra was chanted, it took 4 hours before you could go and use the water in the shell. The whole idea was to bathe the Shivalinga with it, and then bathing that Shivalinga. After that again there was another long puja. So like this, the jnana yajna, the jnani, what does it say? Jnana yajnena. Yeah, the followers of jnana yajna will not do these kind. You won't find them in an elaborate puja. You won't find them in a big yajna. But you will find them either teaching or studying Vedanta all the time. You will find them in the halls of knowledge. And that is their form of worship, Arjuna. They don't worship in the same way as others. This is Arupa Bhakti. Okay, because arupa means they are devoted. Their bhakti means their devotion is completely as the devotion is to understanding themselves as formless. So you see, it's very beautiful because in the beginning, the person has a kind of an understanding of bhakti which evolves. Bhakti evolves. The person also evolves. It's very nice. And that space for that evolution is there. And even though it may look like watertight containers, it's not. Ekarupa, anekarupa, arupa. Just a general expression of what is. Very, very beautiful. And so here it said that this is the, if Bhagavan is the goal, the understanding of the goal also keeps shifting. In the beginning, for a child growing up in the tradition, we say Bhagavan is the creator of the world. And then we say the Bhagavan has made this. And the child will imagine, oh, Bhagavan is like a construction worker, putting bricks and cement in between, putting walls, maybe like a carpenter. And then therefore, to show that sarvajñatvam of Bhagavan, you present the Lord with many heads. Even Shivalinga has panchamukha, 5 mukhas. Lord Brahmaji has 4 faces. Okay, so like this, this is the 4 faces means 4 Vedas, and the Vedas have the whole creation in them. So this is like Vishnu is having a conch shell and everything. This is how one gets into gets into Ekarupa Bhakti. This is a very important stage. And in understanding Vishnu also, like you do this visualization even before Vishnu Sahasranama. Kshirodanvat Pradeshe Shuchimani Vilasat Saikate Mauktikanam. Like this, you have this whole dhyana shloka. So like this, you visualize Bhagavan lying there on this ocean of primal waters, on Adishesha Shakti, and then and then lying down without any stress, you visualize the Lord. So you have some kind of a you have some kind of a thing, and then that continues for as long as you need. As long as you need, it is there. And then there is something special about this, because God is considered as a person. And so therefore we say personal God, personal bhakti. It's very nice. It's the kind, and then you can be in any forms. Like you can say God is my consort, you can say God is my child, you can say God is my sakha, friend. You can imagine God in many, many ways. God is my mother, God is my father. All this is very, very nice. And in fact, it is addictive. Like a child gets addicted to lollipop or the feeding bottle. This kind of bhakti is very, very addictive, because there is an instant transformation. I relate to this particular form, and in fact the more you relate, the stronger the relationship gets, and it's difficult to get out of it. But then you catch on to something else, and as one grows, as one emotionally matures, certain kind of questions come. Is this the only form of God? Is Rama only God? Is Krishna only God? Is Devi only God? Is Shiva only God? And then you see in the history of the world how people have fought because of this Ekarupa Bhakti. My God is not, your God is not my God. And why to go anywhere else? Even in the Hindu Dharma we have this. We have the horizontal stripes. Okay? And then we have the vertical fellows. And the vertical fellows are sometimes at war with the horizontal ones. And in fact, we were all very nervous when Pujya Swamiji called the first Acharya Sabha assembly, Hindu Dharma Acharya Sabha. All these Vaishnava Acharyas who say only which they are convinced, and not only are they convinced, they want to convince you. Yeah. Swayam convinced, Anyan convinsayanti, convinsayitum icchanti. They desire to convince everybody else. And so we were thinking, oh, OMG, how can anybody pull this off? And each one thinks I am higher than the other fellow. The vertical fellow thinks I am higher than the horizontal fellow. The horizontal fellow thinks, why am I any less? I should be on an equal footing. And who are all these other fellows? Like this it was. I thought, really, this is what I thought. When the first Acharya Sabha, Hindu Dharma Acharya Sabha, which had the stalwarts, the biggest religious leaders that you can think of, Bada Mahatmas, big Mahatmas with a following easily of like 50 lakh people, easily. 50 lakh people means what? 500,000 people, easily. Easily they would, that many people would assemble. That's why they cannot have their talks indoors. How will so many people have? It will have to be in big maidans, grounds. So they have to book the whole ground for all these people to come and sit. And then there will always be an overflow. They'll have to have video monitors. And then some people now, with all this live streaming, some people are watching at home. These are the people. And so this happens, like 5 lakh people will easily gather when it is, without notice. If it's just like a few hours notice, 5 lakh people will easily gather. 5 lakh is 500,000, I think. Yeah, 500,000 people easily gather, not a problem. And so then, these are the kinds of people. So each one thinks I am the best, east or west. And then when the Acharya Sabha was called, I was thinking they will all come and sit like Navagrahas. You know how in the temple, the Navagraha, the 9 planets, none of them can face one another. This is the Vastu. If they face one another, Jhagda ho jayega, they will start fighting. So no fighting possible. So they don't face one another, they don't see one another at all. And so I really thought this is how we'll have to have the seating arrangement. But Pujya Swamiji in his brilliance constructed a stage very high. And he himself sat underneath and we all sat down, and on that stage he put the best chairs, like the chairs which have ornate chairs, velvet cushions, gold paint, and big those bolster type cushions here, cushions there, cushions everywhere. And then everybody came, meek as a sheep, and then just sat down. It was just a miracle, really. But usually what happens, the vertical ones and the horizontal ones, meaning the stripes, okay? Yeah, they are at war. This thing is better than yours, and this and that. And then if you look, and then if you take this whole microcosm to and look at the whole world, same thing. What were the Crusades about? Crusades means so much fighting. My God is should be your God. Either get converted or get killed. This is what the Crusades were all about. This is what colonization was all about. Colonization was as much an economical and political bondage as much as it was a religious bondage. Because the subjugation of the people, it was not enough for them to do it economically, it had to be done also religiously. So either you make them pay a tax for their beliefs, or you convert them. If they don't convert, genocide. This is what we saw. Even in India it happened. And so therefore, this kind of the Ekarupa Bhakti, if it is taken to extreme situations, becomes the cause of world wars, becomes the cause of unnecessary violence. And so for those reasons, and also because one is evolving constantly, and as one evolves, one naturally asks the question, is this the only form of God? Is God only in this form? Then how come other people are worshipping in some other form? So slowly, just like the child is weaned off the feeding bottle, and then it's not that the mother starves the child. Hopefully not, okay? So the mother is not saying, okay, no more feeding bottle, No breast, no feeding bottle, and then you just go forage on your own. No. That's why we have a ceremony, Annaprashanam. So there is a weaning ceremony. And what is that? The child is fed some solid food. Little khichdi, little ghee, like that, nothing spicy. Some small, like a little cereal, something like that. And after that, it can eat solid food. Nicely mashed, of course. And then it's done around 6-7 months, it eats solid food. And then, then after a while, after it's 1.5 years old, you don't need to mash the food. You can introduce a few spices. So slowly, gradually, then its taste buds evolves. First, it will spit out if you put any mirchi, and mirchi means what? Spices. If you put any spices, it will spit it out. The child will not eat it because it's not accustomed to the texture. It's not accustomed to certain tastes. It's not accustomed to the 6 tastes. So anything unfamiliar, either texture-wise or taste-wise, if it is not all blended together, it will spit it out. So similarly, if the person is not ready for Aneka Rupa Bhakti, it is spat out. But one evolves. So one evolves from being committed to a particular form. One evolves, one can still retain a fondness for that form. No problem. One can still have that form on the altar. One can still pray to that form. One can still relate to that form. But that relationship has culminated into appreciating all other forms. Such a beautiful evolution. In fact, that bhakti doesn't stop. It has just expanded. It's like when the mother has many children. So mother has child number 1, all the love is for the first child. Then mother has child number 2, the love does not get split. All the love is also for the second child. It's not that when the second child is born, the first child is just neglected. The first child love still is there. Second child also, the heart expands to accommodate more and more forms. And that is the prasada of Ekarupa Bhakti. So the Ekarupa Bhakti gives a kind of a gift, a present, if you will, in the form of the prasada, that it grows me up to appreciate other forms. So first, the Lord starts with the best form, which is Jnana Yajnena, and then after that talks about Ekarupa Bhakti, and then so first where is that? Jnana Yajnena cha api anye yajantaha mam upasate. Yajantaha, invoking me, they worship. Ekatvena, see the Ekarupa Bhakti. Ekatvena Prithaktvena means is also Ekarupa Bhakti. Okay? Prithaktvena means as different from oneself. Ekatvena Prithaktvena cha. And then Bahudha means in many forms, in many ways. Vishwato Mukham as the multi-formed one. And that's where such things like the Purusha Sukta. Sahasra Shirshav Purushaha, Sahasrakshas Sahasrapat, all these things. One with every head is his head, every hand is his hand, every eye is his eye. So 1,000 eye means not to be taken literally. Bahvarthe Sahasram, there is a saying, meaning sometimes when you say Sahasra, you don't literally mean 1,000. What do you mean? Many, many, many. As good as thousands, so you're not counting anymore. So that's what it is. It is so every form is the Lord's form. The Ekarupa Bhakti finally gives way if it is done properly. So the next thing is Aneka Rupa Bhakti, and that so this is the Aneka Rupa Bhakti. It's no longer a personalized God. A personalized God, there is nothing wrong in continuing to worship, but the Shastra introduces the Bhakta to a higher vantage point, a different level or maturity of understanding. And what is that maturity? that the Lord is not here, the Lord is not there. Where is the Lord? Everywhere. Lord is everywhere. How did the Lord become everywhere? Because the Lord has, quote unquote, entered the whole universe. So kamayat bahusyam praja yegeti satapo tapyat satapastaptva idagam sarvam asrijat yadidam kincha tat srishtva tadevanupravishat tadanupravishya satchatyacha bhavat. This is what we are breaking our heads on in the Bhashya class. So how did this Bhagavan become the Jagat? There is no becoming. The Bhagavan lends the presence. This Satchidanandam Brahma populates the entire Jagat with its presence. Elsewhere it is said that 5 things constitute the Jagat. What is that? Asti, Bhati, Priyam, Nama, Rupa, Etat Panchakam. This group of 5 constitute the Jagat. Asti means is. Bhati, knows, shines. Asti, Sat, Bhati, Chit. And then Priyam, Ananda. Because I want that Priya. I want that pleased self. And so Priyam is Ananda. So Sat, Chit, Ananda, and then plus Nama and Rupa. These 5 things constitute the Jagat. Adyatrayam Brahma Rupam. The first 3, Asti Bhati Priyam, belong to what? Brahman. And what is the Jagat? Jagat Rupam Atodvayam. Only Nama Rupa. So this Nissara Jagat, which would have been absolutely detestable because it has really nothing, it's a shell, it's like a ghost town, with those, what are those called? Those tumbleweeds going through. Nothing is there. All the buildings are vacated, and then it's all in a disheveled state, like a ghost town. And that's what the whole Jagat would have been. It would have been abandoned ghost town. But because of the presence of Bhagavan in each and every name and each and every form, it becomes eminently interesting. This is the Upanishad's Shastric version of Aneka Rupa Bhakti. Very nice. This is the Shastric version. Once one is prepared, one is told to go here and stay here by all means, because this is a very big difference from the first one. And so now the Lord is everything. Everything is the Lord. And the Lord is appearing as the universe. And in fact, this universe is non-separate from the Lord. This universe is not something out there. It starts with your own body, mind, sense complex. So your own body is non-separate from the Lord. Your own mind, non-separate from the Lord. Everything is, what is that? Vishwarupa Ishvara. Vishwarupa Bhakti or Aneka Rupa Bhakti here talked about as Vishwato Mukham. So Vishwarupa Bhakti also you can say. So where is God? The answer to that is what? Where is not God? Everywhere there is God. So then this is the place of being for a mumukshu, for a jignasu. And then keeping with this kind of bhakti for some time, let's say quite a bit of time until the next maturity takes place, we can have part B of Vishwato Mukham. This is only part A. Ayyo, what is part B? Part B of Vishwato Mukham, Vishwato Mukha Bhakti or Aneka Rupa Bhakti, is incorporating the forms that you are not fond of as Bhagavan. First, it's nice to say tree is Bhagavan. Wonderful. It's nice, it's leafy, it is shady, you can sit under it. Ganga is mother. Wonderful. Ganga is Devi. Devi Sureshwari Bhagavati Gange. Very nice to sing that. Very nice. Perfect. Ganga is Devi. I have no problem with that. And then what? Vayu is Brahman. Namaste Vayu. Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi. Oh, wonderful. No problem. Vayu is Bhagavan, Akasha is Bhagavan, Agni is Bhagavan. Agni, from little far I will say, Agni, you are Bhagavan. Agni is Bhagavan, Apaha Bhagavan, Prithivi, Devi, another Devi, Bhu Devi. There is a whole Bhu Suktam. Bhumir Bhumna Dyaur Varinantariksham Mahitva. There is a Bhu Suktam. And so the Bhumi is also the goddess. Everything is goddess. And everything is God. No problem. But then when it comes to crab, scorpion, and then what else? Snakes. Snakes. All kinds of viper, cobra, cockroach. Oh, in all this I have to see Bhagavan. And that thing that goes into lizard, gecko. Yes. Now this is a feat. All right. The first part A is easy. First, that's why, in all the Shastras, this is what, all nice things are presented as Bhagavan. Shastra is also very clever. First, on a platter, all nice things, non-objectionable things are presented. Then, after one has mastered seeing Bhagavan in all the pleasant things, then you can't leave the unpleasant things, because again it will become Dvaita. And what are we into? What is our bread and butter? Advaita. Advaita being the bread and butter, then we have to see the Lord and we have to see the Goddess in all the forms that are inimical to me. Some forms are inimical generally to everybody. Very few people like cockroaches. I mean, actually, cockroaches and snakes. This person came on the television once to be interviewed and brought these cockroaches from all parts of the world, and they were all running over him. This fellow. And then he said, I also have snakes, but I can't have them together because the cockroach will be eaten by the snake. Snake demo I'll give later. And the interviewer was going like this. Please don't leave the cockroaches in the studio. He says, no, I'm very fond of them. I know how many there are running around all over here. I'll catch them and take them. Here, would you like to pet one? And the interviewer politely said no. So, barring a few people like that who are what? Insectologists, entomologists, I think they are called. So, who study insects and reptiles and other creepy crawly things. Not many people are fond of, we can say, things like cockroaches, etc. Nobody is fond of that. You can't be fond of things like that. And so, because there is a certain snakes, I mean, who wants to just pet a snake? Well, not very few people that I know would like to hold a snake and have it as a pet, etc. So, these are general ragadveshas. And then there are specific ragadveshas. Some people will say, I don't mind cockroaches, but when I see the lizard, get me out of here or get it out of here. It's either it or me. The two cannot coexist. Okay. So this is a problem. And so therefore, first we practice Aneka Rupa Bhakti by having all pleasant things in front of us, and then we extend it to first unpleasant things in the universe, and then the people who we think are unpleasant. This is personalized ragadvesha, because nobody really is unpleasant. Even in the most unpleasant person, there will be something pleasant. So therefore you can't just sort of deem somebody unpleasant. Unpleasant to me, inimical to me. So this is what it is. And then so this is part B of what? Vishwato Mukham. Vishwato Mukham means it should be Vishwa. It should be everything. And so then we are ready for this higher thing. And so now what? The pain is Bhagavan. Disease is Bhagavan. Taskara. What is Taskara? The thief is definitely Bhagavan. Why is the thief Bhagavan? Thief gives you immediate Vairagya. Takes away things, and then immediately you have to first, after you get over the outrage, how could anybody dare do this, etc. Then, this is the part B of Vishvato Mukha Bhakti or Aneka Rupa Bhakti. Thief is Bhagavan. Creepy crawlies are Bhagavan. And then anybody carrying tales about me, definitely Bhagavan. Outlaw Bhagavan. In-law Bhagavan. Anybody that I don't like, Bhagavan. Anybody who I think is mean to me, Bhagavan. Anybody who is having different interests and putting me down and putting my interests down, Bhagavan. Anybody who is backstabbing me, Bhagavan. Then what? You are very close to Atma Jnanam. If one becomes like this, extremely close to Atma Jnanam. Nothing more is needed. Just maybe just more Shravanam, that's all. That is how bhakti leads to Atma Jnana. This kind of a bhakti definitely leads to Atma Jnana. If my appreciation for the whole world is as Bhagavan, then I have made it. I'm done. This is awesome. I have absolutely made it. Nothing more to do really. And so that's why this kind of bhakti, with the Aneka Rupa bhakti, is very, very important, because we have to have the positive attributes. Of course, are Bhagavan, very easy, but we have to include the negative attribute also. Attributes. Certain beliefs and certain traditions run into problems because they have made up their mind that God is good. God is good means what? If anything bad happens, you're going to throw away the photograph because God became bad. God is good means what? Until and unless, as long as my raga dveshas are fulfilled, I will do worship. I will invoke you. And if my raga dveshas are not being fulfilled, then what will happen? I will stop invoking you. This is a very subjective definition of the so-called God. Very subjective definition, and so therefore this doesn't work. For us, anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat. See, good and bad is in the head. And then dharma, adharma, again a dyad, which is connected to the manifest universe. Dharma and adharma from a certain standpoint is a dyad, pair of two. Shita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha, Dharma, Adharma, Papa, Punya. These are all dyads. If Bhagavan started to take sides in the dyad and choose Punya and choose Dharma and choose Sukha, then we are in great trouble. Dukkha becomes a parallel reality to Bhagavan. Isn't it? And so we cannot have two Bhagavans. There is only one Bhagavan. No, why not have one Bhagavan and one devil? If the devil becomes the parallel reality to Bhagavan, then we are in trouble. If the devil is mithya, demons, mithya, then it's not a problem at all. No problem at all. And so therefore here, the negatives, the so-called negative attributes have to be folded into the understanding gradually before one can say that I am, I can advance now to Arupa Ishvara. Arupa Ishvara means what? That, what is that? Arupa Ishvara means I appreciate the Ishvara as a presence, as a conscious presence, which is what? Myself. And the best example of Arupa Ishvara, Arupa Bhakti is the 3 verses called Pratasmaranam by Adi Shankara. Pratasmarami hridi samspuradatma tattvam. In the morning, I recall, smarami. I meditate upon, I contemplate on. Hridi samspurat, that which in the heart is palpating. Oh, the heart is palpating? No, the awareness, there is spandanam, the awareness is alive. And that consciousness is as though associated with this body, mind, sense complex is palpating. I am. The Atma Tattva, the truth of the I, is advertising itself through the buddhi, in the buddhi, using the buddhi as a place of advertisement. And what does it say? It says, Satchit Sukham Paramaham Sagatim Turiyam. Satchit Sukham. Its nature is Satchit Ananda. Sukha it is here. And it is sought after by it. Sought after means it is the end, the goal of even the Paramahamsas, the greatest and the most exalted of sages. Yat Swapna Jagara Sushuptam Avaiti Nityam. That which knows the sleeping and the waking and the dreaming states all the time. Because it's neither the dreamer, nor the sleeper, nor the one who is awake. Tad Brahma Nishkalamaham. I am that Brahman. Nacha Bhuta Sangha. I am not this assemblage of mass of flesh, bones, blood, skin, and complaints. This is not what I am. Very beautiful. So there are 3 verses like this. And that is a prime example of Arupa Bhakti. Because what is the Rupa of Sat? What is the Rupa of Chit? What is the Rupa of Ananda, Sukham? No Rupa. But still it is devotional in the form of a contemplation of the truth of oneself. And so this one slowly gets ready. With Atma Jnanam we can do that. And if you say, no, I can't do this, go back to Vishwarupa Bhakti. No, that is also too much. Go back to Ekarupa Bhakti, but at least stay in that. Stay in one form of Bhakti or the other. So only through Vedanta you can do Arupa Vichara. Arupa Ishvara Vichara, inquiry and whatever it is. Okay. And then what is the next one? Did we see this whole thing?
16. Yes.
All the words? Yeah,
yes.
We have seen all the words. Okay. What is the next one?
Aham.
Yeah, and so here the Lord gives the various ways in which this the Lord focuses not on Ekarupa Bhakti, not on Arupa Bhakti, because those are 2 ends of the extremes in the continuum, but the Lord will focus on the most needed and which is most acceptable to most people, that Bhakti which is the middle one. What is that one? Anekarupa Bhakti. And so verses number, what is that? 16 and 17, 18 are prime examples of that. Okay, so looking at certain things and how to understand this, how to understand this Anekarupa Bhakti is given here. Let us chant. Aham kraturaham yajnaha, aham kraturaham yajnaha, Swadhahamaham aushadham, Swadhahamaham aushadham, Mantrohamahame vajyam, Ahamagnir aham hutam. So here this is all in the form of a yajna. So in the yajna, what is Bhagavan? So the offering is directed, and where the offering goes, that is Bhagavan. Generally people think so that Bhagavan is very separate. But here in this example of Aneka Rupa Bhakti, this Bhagavan is brought up close and personal. And here Bhagavan Krishna declares himself to be all aspects of yajna without any shesha, any residue at all. And so what is that? Aham kratuhu. Kratu means sankalpa. We saw that in the Kathopanishad. So kratu means sankalpa. So before the yajna is done, there is a sankalpa, the statement of intentionality, which is a very important part of the of any kind of a worship. So you put the left hand and put some akshata in it, clasp the right hand and then put it on the right knee. When you're sitting down, you put it on the, perch it on the right knee, and then you say what you want as a result of this puja, as a result of this fire sacrifice, yajna. What is it that you want? And so you will say, for example, Mamopata Durita Kshayadvara Shri Parameshwara Prityartham Aham Idam Karishye. I do this for the reduction of Durita, Durita Kshaya. Reduction of Durita. What is Durita? Papa. Papa is Durita. And so for the reduction of Papa. Whose Papa? My own Papa. It's the neighbor's Papa. My own Papa. I acknowledge that. Mama Upata, earned by me. How? Through nefarious actions, wrong actions. When? In either this birth or many other births. Doesn't matter. Because of which there is karma phala, which is suffered right now. And why is there the suffering of karma phala? Because of the actions done then, and those actions are manifest in the form of papa, various papaha. And so those papas I want to reduce so that I can enjoy better health, definitely better bank balance, and then definitely better digestive system, whatever you want to ask. Better bank balance, better digestive system, better friends, better ability to influence people, all these things, better medha shakti, better buddhi to memorize all the grammar rules. So without giving up on Sanskrit, all these things, one can ask, this is the sankalpa. And you think you are making the sankalpa. Bhagavan says, here is a problem. You are not making the sankalpa. I am not, so are you making the sankalpa? Wait, I am confused. No. You are not making the sankalpa. I am not making the sankalpa. I am the sankalpa. I am the embodiment of your desires. And this was told in the 7th chapter. What was told? Kamosmi bharatarshabha. Dharma aviruddha bhuteshu kamosmi. I am in the form of desire. Same thing. Your sankalpa is backed by desire. The desire for a better bank balance, desire for better clothes, desire for better food, desire to go places. And go places means not literally go places up on the social ladder, go places on the economic ladder, go places in the sense of become famous. That is all. These are all what? Desires. The desires are the precursors to what comes out as sankalpa. So sankalpa means, here I want the papas gone because, okay, please give me this, give me fame, give me name, give me money, now. Give me a happy life, now. Give me, give me a long life. And then suddenly, give me a healthy long life. Give me a healthy, happy long life. Like this, so many things you remember. You keep adding on. And then, so you think it's my sankalpa. I am the sankalpayitru, sankalpayita. I am the one who is the karta of the sankalpa, you think. Wrong, fail. Oh, so you made the sankalpa, you ask Bhagavan. No, I didn't make the sankalpa. I am the sankalpa. Aham kratuhu. And then, because of these desires and this sankalpa, what did you do? You had a yajna. You had a yajna party. And so what did you do there? You did the fire ritual, you invited people, gave annadanam, all these things. And so, what are the components of this yajna is given here. Aham yajnaha. He is not worried about the components of the yajna. The Lord straight away says, I am the entire yajna I am. Nothing is left. Okay? Then, swadha aham. Swadha means, so there are two words. Swaha and then Swadha. Swaha is uttered when you offer oblations to Bhagavan, various forms of Bhagavan, Aneka Rupa Bhakti. So, Indraya Swaha, Indraya Idan Namama. This is for Indra. I invoke Indra through this spoonful of ghee, this oblation. This is for Indra, not for me. Idam Namama. Idam Namama means all those big, big sankalpas I had, I am releasing it to you. You do whatever is good for me. That is the idea. I'm not owning up this yajna and I'm not doing that. You see, this is in keeping with the Bhagavan's flow. Here Bhagavan is himself declaring himself to be the yajna, to be the sankalpa. So how can the yajna be my yajna? How can the sankalpa and desires be my sankalpa? I'm letting it go. So then I say this Indraya Swaha. But then if I'm offering to the ancestors, Pitru, then you don't say Swaha. You say what? Swadha. Swadha aham. So the offering to the ancestors, your great-grandpa and great-grandma are not there waiting to eat. I am like the packed man who gobbles. Eats up all their offering. Why? Oh, how can you be so cruel? What about my dear departed? No dear, no departed. I am your dear departed. I am separate from the ones who you call the ancestor. I am them. So therefore, it's not that I'm pushing them aside and sitting in their place and eating the offerings. Don't think like that. I'm not pushing them aside. In fact, I am them. They are nothing but me. I am them. Swadha aham. And then what do the people on the earth want to nourish? They want aushadham, oshadhibhyaha jatam, born of plants, food. Here medicine, but food itself is, here it's not medicine, but food itself is medicine. You can take it like that. So Swadha aham aushadham. I am the one who nourishes through all the vegetables and the food of all the living beings. I am nourishing everything. I am the great nourisher. So I nourish through food, and in fact the pills that we consume really should be eaten in the form of food. That's why Ayurveda and all is so indigenous, in a way. It's very organic in the sense that food itself is the medicine. You don't have to take a curcumin tablet. One very good example. I didn't even know how to pronounce it. Kurku, what is this? I said. Rhymes with murku. Murku, kurku. What is this? Kurkumin. Then somebody told me, no, it is curcumin. Curcumin something. And curcumin, I said, what is this curcumin? And then it is just your haldi. Yeah, haldi means, what is that? Turmeric. It's just turmeric put into a capsule and then put a big charge on it. And then put it on the shelves in America. Curcumin, anti-inflammatory. and even cumin also they will sell like that only. And whether it's cumin or curcumin, it's just all, what do? Nowadays they extract the essential, I don't know what it's called, some component. They extract the essential component. Like for example, in soya beans, it's flavonoids. So they extract the flavonoids. In curcumin, it must be something like that only, And then in cumin also, it must be whatever essential things it has, they extract. And what do they do to that? They put it in a capsule form. They put it in the capsule, give it to you after giving you vairagya from your money. And then they say this is what it is. But that's not what the Vaidyas of Ayurveda, that's not what they want us to do. Food is medicine. That's why the Oshadhi is given here. Oshadha. And what is this food? I am the food. I am the medicine. And I am the medicinal herbs in the whole Jagat. Not just in India, in the entire Jagat I am that. And then what? To grow the medicines also, mantra is needed. When the plants are planted, mantra is chanted. Certain plants are planted in the full moon, new moon, or some are planted during the day. All these things are there. Mantra is chanted. For yajna also mantra is chanted. Who is this mantra? Who else is left? Bhagavan says, I am the mantra. Mantroham. Okay, I just want to find a little place where you're not there, okay? You're getting on my nerves if you say. Too bad. Mantroham ahameva ajyam. So here you are going to dip the spoon in the ghee and offer it to Bhagavan. And who is the Bhagavan? Me. Who is the spoon? Me. Who is the hand? Me. But you won't be able to understand it. I am you. I am your, if I am your ancestors, how can I not be you? I am you already. and then the ghee. What is the ghee? Me. That's why ghee and me rhyme. Ghee is none other than me. He is me. Me is ghee. And so therefore, this is, so mantroham ahameva ajyam. And then where are you offering the ghee? In the fire. And who is the Agni? Me. I am the Agni, the Lord says. And aham hutam. Hutam means oblations. I am the action of offering. I am the offering. I am the fire into which the offering is given. I am the articles of oblations, ajyam, etc. I alone have been, I am the ritual, I am the sankalpa which is the ritual, which is comes before the ritual. I am the food offered to the ancestors. I am the food of sustaining all living beings. I am the mantra. I am the fire. I am the ghee. I am the act of offering, and I am the place where it's offered. Any questions? No. Thank God. Bhagavan will not have any answers, even if we had a question. More we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.